Saw you at a party. You asked me to dance. Said music was great for dancing. I don't really dance much, but this time I did. I was glad that I did this time. And the song said, let's be happy. And I was happy. It never made me happy before. And the song said, don't be lonely. Makes me lonely. I hear it and I'm lonely more and more. Where I belong, where I belong, where I belong, where I belong. Wasn't dressed right, I rarely am. Told me that you didn't care. I laughed when you wobbled in your platform shoes. You laughed when I called Anita true, Anita Ward. And the song said, let's be happy. And I was happy. It never made me happy before. And the song said, don't be lonely. Makes me lonely. I hear it and I'm lonely more and more. Where I belong, where I belong, where I belong, where I belong.
High school boyfriends are kind of this rite of passage we all have to go through, am I right? It's always more about his body or how popular he is. It's never about whether you love him. I mean, you say you love him, and you think you love him, and you touch him like you love him, but it's never a really real thing. They're always playing dumb. They don't give a shit about anything but themselves, and they never make time for you, and when they do, it's never really for you, you know? Like one time in high school, my BF at the time calls me up and says, "Hey baby, I got you a present." And you know, that got me super excited because like I love presents. So I go over to his house and he locks the door and sits me down in his bed in his room. And then he tells me to take my present out of the shopping bag. So you know I do, and it's like this glass pipe thingy, like it has a bowl and a hollow stem. And you know, I started thinking to myself, why did he give me this? I don't smoke weed. And then he starts smiling at me and it's like, it's a dildo for you. And I'm like, this is not a dildo. And he's like, yes it is. And then he tries to is the story working, you guys? I'm not sure. Post comments below and tell me what you think.
This is Jack.
This is Tatiana.
And this is the room we come to.
We come here because a few years ago we admitted an attraction to one another. And since I'm married and he's not, we decided if this relationship was going to work, we needed structure.
Structure and a structure.
Right. We could have met in some coffee shop or shed enclosure, but one was too noisy and the other just too isolated.
We needed complete silence and a window if this was going to work.
Because what is the most important part of any kind of relationship?
Promises.
It's about the promises you make to one another each and every time you meet. It's about performing each step, one after the other, until it becomes a complete gesture.
Because if we perform these gestures and other people are talking, they'll get drowned out. And if there's no window, there's no place for our light to shine out.
The room would explode.
So this is where we come to perform our promises to each other.
Alright, shall we begin, darling?
If you're ready.
Okay, let's go.
I've always admired the way you take off your coat.
Really, Angel?
Mm-hmm.
What do you admire about it?
It's just a very original action. I don't think I've ever seen anyone take off a coat that way before.
Is that from a movie? Are you using movie lines on me now?
Why does it have to come from a movie?
Because that's one of the most romantic things I've ever heard you say to me in my entire life. Maybe top 50 or top 75.
Now who said you could be so funny? Tell you what, when I do quote you things from movies, I'll waggle my fingers all tight so you can tell whose words are whose.
Promise?
Promise.
Good. Words are very important.
They're all we have, baby.
Loving you is so easy, Jack.
Oh, I'm so glad.
It's just like breathing. It's so light and free, and I don't even have to think about it. It's just there to keep me going all day.
Well, I'm glad I can keep you going all day.
Can you promise to keep me going all day?
I think I can promise.
You think or you know?
Of course I know.
So you will?
I will.
Good, good, good.
God, you two are perfect.
Thanks so much. Do you know how to feel strong when we're not together?
Sometimes. There are times when I forget, but then I think about you and it comes right back.
Do you really?
Yep.
I do that to you?
Yes, you do.
What kind of things do you think about me?
Well, now that you're confining me to specifics,
Come on, what kind of things?
well, I don't want to take the mystery away.
No. I wasn't asking for exact fantasies, just some pretty silhouettes.
Oh, thank God.
Oh, dear, did I scare you? Oh, poor baby.
I'm alright, darling. I'm just buying time so I can think of a good one.
Take your time, sweetheart. I have all the time in the world.
You know what, Tati? I bet if people could see us, they would be jealous.
Because it's so obvious that we love each other?
Mm-hmm.
It must be so lonely for them.
I love how considerate you are.
No, I'm serious. It's a crime that not everyone has the kind of security we have. How do they survive?
Well, how did he survive before you?
Who are you?
I'm Lol.
No, that's not good enough. Who are you?
My name is Lol.
Spelled L-O-L. You go as lol.
Not LOL, just Lol. One unit.
How did you find us?
I'd rather not answer that.
I think you owe us some answers, you psycho.
I don't know if we should call her that, babe.
And why is that?
It could be perceived as offensive.
And why should I care about her feelings?
We don't know what she's capable of if she gets offended.
Oh, I won't hurt you.
Then why are you here?
'Cause I found you.
What does that mean?
Means what it sounds like. I was wandering for a while, and then I found you. And finders keepers. So.
Finders keepers. You think you own us?
No. That was just wordplay. I know I don't own you. I just have stake in you.
Steak?
You two are just so beautiful to watch. I can tell that both of you really love each other.
How can you tell?
Don't encourage her.
You two obviously care about each other. I can see it in your eyes. He obviously worships you.
Thank you.
Remember that part towards the beginning where you were talking about the promises you made to each other?
You've been watching us for that long?
That's the thing about you two. I can see it in your eyes. You guys have the purest love I've ever seen. He obviously worships you.
Well, that's very kind of you to say.
Really very
towards the
sweet.
beginning where you were talking
I'm glad
about
we have such a
promises
positive
we made
influence.
to each other? Oh, you definitely do.
You've been watching us for that long? Well, now that we know that it's just a fan watching
You guys have
us.
the purest
But I mean,
love
I've never
ever
performed
seen.
for a fan before, at least
Well, that's very
not
kind
one
of you
that
to
I'm
say.
aware of.
Don't worry. They'll be like I'm not even here.
Are you sure? What if we get performance anxiety? What if it's too exciting?
Yeah, I mean, we've never had experience in these kind of things before.
You two don't have to worry about a thing. I'm just a passive observer. You can get right back to what you were doing, and I'll protect you from any prying eyes.
Well,
Only if you insist.
It's the very least I could do.
Well then.
yeah.
Alright. Here we go.
Yeah, okay.
So, Jack takes his arm and places it lovingly on Tatiana's lovely...
Yes. Yes, and Tatiana places her lips on Jack's cheek.
Yes. Because Tatiana loves Jack and knows how much Jack enjoys this.
And it's all about what Jack wants. Tatiana enjoys this because Jack enjoys this.
Yeah. And Jack enjoys this because Tatiana enjoys this. So it's all okay and equal.
Yeah.
Alright, now Jack will take his other arm and move closer to Tatiana.
Okay.
And this is okay and equal because when I'm close to you, at least physically, it's what your body needs. And what you need is all I can give you.
Okay. I cannot continue to do this as long as she's still here.
Is it too late to tell you to ignore me?
It's kind of like asking us to stop thinking about pink elephants, isn't it?
So I ruined it.
You're damn right you did.
What went wrong?
You went wrong. You're too present. You're making me forget my lines.
What do you mean you forgot your lines? You've never forgotten them before.
Don't act like you weren't improvising too. What was that about you enjoying this because I enjoy this?
What's wrong with that?
What's wrong with that is that's not true. You enjoy this for entirely selfish reasons.
Doesn't enjoying this for you count as a selfish reason?
No.
Maybe if I can get you two to describe your love for each other, you'll remember your promises. Jack, what does loving Tati feel like to you?
If you participate in this, I swear to God.
It's a fog. It's a dull, overwhelming fog that I'm constantly absorbing through my ears and my eyes and my mouth. It sometimes feels like it doesn't need me to exist, but without it I wouldn't know how to stand up.
Is that exhausting to you? Is it worth it?
Don't fucking answer.
It is. That's my answer to both those questions, but I'm not exactly sure.
What do you mean?
I don't know, I've never thought about it with someone like you before.
That's because you don't have to think about it with somebody like her. That's not the point of this relationship.
Tati, I've never seen you angry like this before.
Well, I should be angry. She's been here for God knows how long and only has the decency to tell us once we notice her.
She's attracted to our light, baby. It's a compliment.
It doesn't feel like one.
I'm really sorry about this. Tati isn't used to getting attention from anyone except for me or her husband. Having a light like hers can be really intense.
Oh, I understand. This must be very overwhelming for her.
Yeah, it is. It's been hard on me too.
Oh, but you're doing wonderfully.
Thanks.
Wait, hold on for a second. Lowell, do we know you?
I don't think so.
Are you sure?
What makes you say that?
The way you're moving. Like you're avoiding getting caught.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't think we know her, Tati.
Maybe you don't, but I do. Lowell, where did you go to high school?
Nowhere close to you.
No, didn't you graduate from South Tallahassee? You kind of remind me of a girl I knew in my year.
I'm a year younger than you, and I live in Uxbridge.
That girl moved to Uxbridge. And how do you know how old I am?
I guessed. You have nothing on me right now. You have no facts.
Don't be so cagey. I think I can ask some questions.
You're making her anxious, Tati.
Good. Wait. Wait, I do know you.
No.
You're Lola Stein. You're fucking Lola Stein. Oh God, I haven't seen you in years.
Who's Lola Stein?
She's nobody.
She's this girl I went to high school with. She was kind of infamous because she was dating this older guy, Michael Richardson. It was really weird because she was obsessed with him.
No.
But they were engaged her senior year. She took him to prom. It was a huge scandal because once they got there, he met Michael Strutter's mom, who was chaperoning, and he danced with her.
Please stop talking about this.
And everyone felt so bad for Lola. But she didn't do anything. She just stood there and watched him the whole night.
Please.
And what was even more weird was that she was so calm and happy, as if everything was going her way, as if she planned this.
What did I just say?
And then he left without her when the dance ended, and she started to freak out. And here she is, all these years later, doing the same damn thing. What was going through your mind, Lola?
It's not Lola.
Yes, it is. We know who you are. You can leave now.
I wasn't dressed right. I rarely am. You told me that you didn't care. But that night, lol. What about that night? Please like this. Please need this. I'm smiling here, and it's sunshiny, and there are daisies, and you think this is charming because it is pretty, and I think you like pretty things. There is no one else, just you and me, so there is no one else for you to be charmed by, except for me. Of course, there are these daisies here, but you can't really fall in love with a flower.
See, that's funny. And you didn't know I could be that funny. And you love that about me. We can go anywhere you want. Are you allergic to flowers? We can go down to the water. I can wash my hands. I've seen you like this before. I've seen you like water and flowers, and I want you to like this with me. You don't have to ask about that. You don't have to ask about anything. Why does there have to be something to this? I'm here, and you're here, and you're lonely. And I have things I can give to you, so just take them. Is that hard? Is it? Am I hard, darling?